Hi, folks. So I wanted to talk a little bit this morning about magnetism, how it relates to our universal truths and such. Okay. So as a precursor to that thought, I practice an art called Wing Chun Kung Fu, right? And in that art, what we do, you wouldn't even know it. It's got like a built-in spiritual growth to it that you don't even readily see on the surface. You're thinking, yeah, brass tacks, self-defense, looks really good, right? But over the years of practicing and practicing, I have found that we keep repeating the same truths over and over and over about 0 point. See, this art works with the idea of push and pull. Basically, the idea of if an incoming force is stronger, you receive it like water. If it's too strong, you receive it and redirect it back at the person. The point is different responses from the 0 point. We define this part of our arm as the bridge, and when you make contact with the other person's bridge, that's 0 point. And from there, you want to be soft against whatever force they throw at you, so you can be more direct, but figure out which way they're going and avoid oncoming traffic, as it were. Okay? So, but the idea behind it is to take the thinking out of your self-defense, because let's face it, once adrenaline kicks in, your mind shuts off. So we try and make our hands like springs that are always aimed towards their center. You can push on a spring and it's going to absorb the incoming force, but as soon as its direct line is clear, bam, it goes forward, right? This is how everything with the bioelectric field works. We all have a toroidal field. All living conscious beings, things that grow, have a toroidal field, right? And it's funny because you hear this in the world all the time. People say we have two poles. No, we have two ends of one pole. We have positive and negative. This is the way the world works. That's what a yin-yang is, right? But there is just so much more to it than that. It's potential energy, basically. It's funny, like modern science in our school always gives us the definition of gravity. But gravity is just an attractive force. It's only 1/2 of magnetics. It's only the pull. It's not the push and the pull. These things always stay in balance. If there's a push, there's going to be a pull. That's just how it goes, okay? So, going further with that, you'll see embedded, like in astrotheology, the sine wave. Sine waves are in everything, but basically, like, I'm going to draw some examples today. So if you look at the zodiac and the year and the equinoxes and solstices, it looks about like this. They map it out, with the different zodiac signs. You'll have like a solstice, an equinox, basically, if you keep going, right? Maps out the year. Anyways, so I started thinking about this, the sine wave. The sine wave is a dragon. It repeats in nature all over the place. And some of us ancient lineages directly connected to the dragon, but that's not the point. The point is it's in everything. It is like one of the oldest forms of creation and life, basically. So it hit me. This is 2D, right? This is the same thing as a spring. This is the potential energy that you see from a magnetic field. See, the thing is, with a thing like this, is its truth. It is invisible. So the way to measure it would be to measure the effects, right? So here I'm starting to define this, how it's a yin-yang, right? But, see, pretty much, it's kind of sloppy, I know, right? But if you think about this S shape, think about it in 3D terms. Let me see here, I'm going to try and draw this out real quick. So it's like, if I drew a ball, and I had, it's almost like a spiraling energy. I'll explain as I go here, but it's like if you think about the S as more of a 3D shape, and then you took the ball out, you would have a spiral, the same as a spring, okay? So that creates, like when you compress a spring, you've got potential energy there. And when it's released, that's the male energy. The reason you're able to compress it is the yin of it, is the female energy. So this is not much different than this, if you think about it, you just angle it a little bit, this is what you would see. It's like a yin-yang is one loop of that, basically, okay? So yeah, there, what I was gonna do here is draw the toroidal field. So a toroidal field basically looks like an apple or like a donut with a hole in the middle, right? That's why it's a yin-yang. Yin-yang represented by 2D. Like, see, you could see the force of the yin in the yang, and if you could see through the ball, the other end of the pole would be on the other side. Like if you could see it transparently. But that's not the point. The point is toroidal field in general. Toroidal field basically, I've elucidated on this in past videos, but you have to go back and watch them to really get that. So a toroidal field basically, like, it looks like a giant apple, right? And you got energy going in and coming out all the time, right? Energy in, energy out, and it's constantly feeding in on itself. So it just creates this continual, you know. But so the flow of the energy that comes from this is you see the middle of the toroidal field is called a hyperboloid, and if you think about it, so the energy that's generated spirals. So it's like the center column of this, which it would be a pole if you were it'd be a pole if you were looking at it from in here. But if you're looking at it from up here, it looks like a hole, right? Like a black hole, right? But up here, it's a white hole. Anyways. So so it's like the barber's poles. The central channel creates spiraling energy. Just like you'll see this, like when you pull the plug on your bathtub or your sink full of dishwater, you know, it creates a hyperboloid, but that hyperboloid is like a tornado. It's like a vortex. It's spring energy. That's magnetism. This is what our universe is based on, basically. This is what our multiverse is based on, I should say. Just wanted to kind of share how that spiraling energy connects with the toroidal field. All right, folks, have a good day.